Radiant reserve time. Hold on a minute. Are you throwing darts or something to decide your picks? I mean, what is your strategy here? Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Luna.
Dire team pick. Shadow
StarLadder.
Radiant team pick.
Lion.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
I'm okay, but I'm not really sure why we see a Lion second pick here from Horde. I mean, I'm down with Navi's start. Shadow Demon StarLadder, that's reasonable, whatever. But Luna Lion is definitely a little bit interesting. It is nice to have that kind of double illusion clear when you expect your Luna to be hit with that disruption from the Shadow Demon. So there is some response to that, but usually Lion picks want to pick them up a little bit later. You want to be able to scope the field out. Make sure that your Lion will have chances to get in and get his disables off without being just immediately killed by someone else. And so far, that's just not quite clear yet. Already a great defensive spell from Navi and that Shadow Demon.
You've got 10 seconds. What's the hold up, sunshine? 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
Mm-hmm.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the, I'm not gonna say like bigger strengths of Lion. It is one of the strengths of Lion in this particular set of heroes. You will have that anti-illusion tech, but it is still pretty risky. Usually with Luna heroes, you want to have heroes that are somewhat a little bit more mobile, a little bit more movement speed, so you can actually land your hits with the extra damage from the aura, while at the same time not putting yourself into a terrible position where you just get killed off immediately. And Lion is a clunky hero. He's usually not able to do that completely safely without taking some damage in response. It is still possible that Horde run Lion, Luna, and they are able to keep them both safe because of Navi's offlane situation just being fairly weak. So far, it's not completely clear what that is just yet. If it is going to be anything but a weak offlane, then yeah, the Lion may run into issues, but yeah, you do have that anti-illusion, which is quite nice when you're packing someone like a Luna. But taking a look at bans, got a lot of this physical right click being banned out from really both sides. TA and the Meepo from Navi, and then Shadow Fiend Weaver, both minus armor heroes taken out from Horde. You could just use Shadow Demon as more of a Shadow Poison caster, and then yeah, a little bit less in the disruption.
The sack
Oh,
Radiant team pick.
that's actually pretty cool. So, I mean, this is, whether it's a support or core, I mean, it doesn't really matter because they both work really well with Shadow Demon, and they both work really well with StarLadder. You'll be able to do a lot of damage with Diabolic Edict if he is going to mix that in. Usually with core builds, if he's a support, you know, it's not as much value with the Slaughter, obviously, but you do have options going Disruption, Soulcatcher, and just setting up for Split Earths. It also is, you know, a lot of magic damage that's kind of hard to control in a wide AoE, so that's really what you want up against Luna and Lion specifically, just in the early game, just nuke them down.
Time.
Life Stealer.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, it definitely messes with Horde on that mental level of what are they doing with this Leshrac. I do think that they probably could have saved it to last, and there's like a very, very small chance that it would have been picked up or banned out by Horde, so you probably could have gotten a Leshrac last. Wouldn't have been a terribly huge deal, but what Navi have right now is a really clean setup for getting kills on almost any hero, as long as the Leshrac and Shadow Demon are on point with their communication and they don't whiff any of these Split Earth setups. Then with all this damage coming out from the Life Stealer, Leshrac also does quite a bit of damage. Even with a low level of Split Earth, with the setup that you have, you can just afford to go into Edict or Lightning Storm and get even more magic damage. I guess physical damage sometimes coming out on those heroes as well. Even someone like a Darkseer may not be able to survive just that initial burst combo. So it is already a very deadly setup from the Navi side, but Horde, they're not to be outdone. Earth Spirit, Darkseer, classic combo is a set of heroes you want when you're going up heroes like Leshrac, who by themselves, if you catch them out, don't really have that much game.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, you do need a little bit more brute force. Magnus is already handled by Dendi or whatnot, but you know, as long as it's, yeah, I mean, as long as it's a hero with a little bit of right click, just someone that can right click at all, then that'll be great, because Navi already have just so many ways of picking people off. Navi can go for, you know, anything from Invoker to set up from the Shadow Demon Disruption and try to just instantly get those kills. Slaughter Blink Dagger with Life Stealer Bombs, very good as well down the line. They can do that. They can go a lot slower and try to play the slow grindy game and have the ganking duos of Navi just kind of lock down the map while they get farm on some last pick of Dendi. Something like a Tinker in that regard isn't really going to be the worst. It really is up to them.
Ten seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Tinker.
So this is going to slowly, at least the game plan for Navi is use these ganking duos. You get the stun setup from Leshrac, you get the stun setup from the Slaughter Life Stealer Bomb, and use that to just slowly collapse the map onto Horde. and then lock them into their base, and then slowly chip away with Rage or with Diabolic Edict damage. If they go south, you will be able to just put up the heroes like Luna won't really be able to get in and do the damage versus the towers, because you're going to be taking missile damage and march damage, and the mischance on laser is backbreaking versus the Luna and an OD especially. So yeah, I really like Tinker pick last for the Navi squad. This is not really your traditional draft, but they have a lot of options as far as getting kills are concerned.
There's a lot of burst damage, and I like this mix. You have to mix of magic and physical. I think that's how most ideal drafts should go. Really make it complex for your enemies to itemize, and I think he's got a nice draft this game. I'm favoring Navi's draft, assuming none of that crazy stuff happens again.
Yeah, I kind of want Navi's draft to win because I haven't seen Leshrac in forever.
Pony
from the casting chair, so I'm biased like that. A weird hero, and yeah, I'm gonna want you to win. But I mean, for Horde, they just have like a pretty cookie cutter solid comp. Like Pablo on his Earth Spirit is already a force to be reckoned with. Add Ion Shell on top of that when you're looking at rolling into some of these softer heroes, and that could be a big problem for Navi.
Excalibur, the one hero guy, AOD. Just kidding, of course. This guy plays a couple of no-fun heroes. He does play a few. E-skill, gonna play Darcia. George, gonna play that Luna. I have Pablo on that Earth Spirit Lion, played by Ake. And last but not least, OD played by Excalibur. I already said that. But yeah, Pycat's gonna play Lifestealer, a hero I haven't seen him play as much as I've seen him play Jug.
Oh, look at this setup on bottom.
Yeah, they're doing that thing where they banish, and poor Ake is like, hello. Like,
there's way too many heroes for Ake. Oh, he messed up!
Oh no!
He used it for extra damage.
Once more illusion? Stun?
Oh no.
Fiver.
Not
Would
like
it
this.
work if he somehow got some body block going? But
Alright,
that...
so I can kind of maybe understand disrupting yourself for more DPS because you figure he's body blocked, but what Lion doesn't have some tangos at this stage in the game? That should have been a pretty easy first blood. Or our men should have also considered leveling up Diabolic Edict when they saw Ake just go into the trees there, because you know that he's the only one who can get hit by that, and Diabolic Edict just does a monstrous amount of damage. Yeah, they done goofed.
Yeah. Navi's back. Oh, nice stun there. Combo and Gorge will not go down. I think Luna is a really odd choice. Go for 330 move speed, 35 actually. Not something you wanna try and dive against two stuns as well. It's pretty odd. But this aggressive tri-lane, we'll see how well it plays out for Navi. Pycat 1-on-1 against E-skill, something that the Lifestealer should be able to handle.
And the Iron Shells do get annoying, but it's really just a race to level 6. Once you get Infest, additional source of sustain, killing off Ion Shells as well, then things really just start to equalize. So yeah, the Darkseer is going to have a free time, but I don't expect him to be making any huge attempts on Pycat's life unless Pycat makes a big mistake.
Oh, Pablo's gonna miss his roll though. Might go for the trap, and they will. Our man, it's done again, so that combo is just really botched at this point. But they're not farming. The bounty rune was snatched there against them, but Ake with this Earth Spike means that this combo is not gonna work. I think it's better to pop the smoke on it, right?
Yeah, getting some aggressive power on mid for both sides really is a pretty reasonable way to go, but for right now, I think Navi just want General to start accelerating in kills.
Look, if they went mid, Excalibur is so low. Wait for the banish again, they crushed the Lion this time, and Ake is in trouble, but so is Viper, and Ake might go for it, but the beam comes through, and Ake will survive a little bit, but the destruction illusion from the Luna actually does kill him off, so Shadow Demon gets the trade-off. Gorge does get the first blood though, so the Luna getting first blood, definitely going to be happy with that one. But yeah, overall, he is actually better in terms of life. Middle lane, the OD already forced to use Sanctuary there, so he doesn't have another source of regen for a bit, and he's rushing a Midas again, so We'll see. This raindrop is coming to him, so that is going to be a shame as they will have a lot of their damage mitigated. But the radiant scan affects the scan coming, so Excalibur, Spidey senses will actually get out of there. New technology from the frog, changing up the game.
The Slaughter is actually getting quite a bit of CS here, which is just fine for a 3v3. He's actually a higher level than the Luna, and that's even without any of these setups from Armin and Vivre actually working out. I don't think they actually hit that combo a single time yet, but still the Slaughter is having the time of his life, and for really just CS-wise, Navi across the board doing very well for themselves. That's kind of surprising considering, again, how little the Shadow Demon Lestrat combo has actually done, but it just seems like mechanically they're in a suitable position, and
they're tilted up the... Oh, now they're gonna go again. Try. Now the crush, no, the Hex there lands, but now there's gonna be a slow coming out here. A nice stun there from the high ground. Iron Man finally gets it, and the chain stun is coming in at long last. Navi down the hard carry for Horde. Get themselves a nice kill on the board. That was very much needed. I'm starting to get really worried.
Still, Shadow Demon Lestrat combo hasn't landed yet. I mean, the Shadow Demon can set up for anyone, right? So it's not really a terribly huge deal.
Yeah, we'll call it the Shadow Demon's ladder / Frank.
Yeah,
He has gotta juggle his stuns and throw it at the one that most likely stun first.
And if you're going for a hero like Earth Spirit or Lion, I mean, that should be top priority. Killing off Luna would be great, but she will have 2 heroes then who can save her. Whereas if you go for obviously Lion or Earth Spirit, only 1 hero can save them. So there's just so many stuns and a lot of just magic damage thrown out in that.
Luna
I guess
had
physical
15
as well.
sick charges though. Shouldn't have died.
I mean, yeah, Luna's it's a hero that they want to kill, but it's a hero that they don't really want to go for kills. If they like end up with Luna kill, they'll be happy. They just want to try to find.
No, I'm saying the
out.
Luna had 15. Actually didn't die, just panicked. And he wasn't exactly chained down as well.
Ever's still going pretty aggressively by himself. They really just want to find Ake out of position, but I don't think that would really work. Ake had just a ward. It just got cleared out by one of the Navi guys. They had an observer ward Horde overlooking this area.
They see Pablo. They want to snatch his rune. They crush Pablo here. They steal his rune. And now he's slowed a little bit. I think he might have to ball up. Yeah, and he's going to run away. So Pablo to expend more resources to get out of there. Dendi picks up that soul ring already. Excalibur is going to feel a little bit more bold. Head up to the... But Dendi does find himself in Nimbus runes. So that's going to be good for dodging ganks as well as maybe sneaking up on Excalibur. Damage.
I'm actually a little bit surprised how well Pycat is doing up against his top lane. Again, this lane matchup is pretty much just like a race to get to Infest, and then once you have that, you start to equalize the lane versus the Ion Shells. But he's gotten so much more CS than the Darkseer. When Darkseer has the luxury of just going behind the tower and Ion Shelling the creep wave down, they're gonna get a gank on Dendi though. Dendi does not see this one coming. He has an Invis rune. I think he might be fine.
Yeah, and he even dodges the rule. Easy. And like I said earlier on, the Invis rune has a lot of applications in the enemy phase. Use that for a getaway. And yeah, a lot of people say, things about Pycat. Have been saying that, oh, maybe he's not suitable for the team and whatnot. But if anything, Pycat has proven himself a very efficient farmer. Really good farmer.
I think
that is something that he can really exploit.
We haven't seen a situation where Pycat is actually pressured in his lane though. Which,
that's true.
The mark of a true farmer is you still get CS even when your lane is utter hell. But so far, Pycat has just been by himself or with a very dominant lane partner, like a Rubik Juggernaut combo, and it hasn't really been an issue. So, yeah, he's so far been performing very well, but we haven't seen the wide array of strats you can throw.
Lada about to get that level 6, so the up damage, or rather the corrosive haze. Done. Do you realize that the hero portraits actually do vibrate a little bit now when they... Oh, Pablo getting caught there. Tries to actually go for on Pycat. Jukes him with the left, right. Will actually scoot away from Pycat.
Lightning?
Gonna be another kill. The lightning!
Tower is under attack.
Nerfed.
They're going bot.
Yeah, they're going bottom. Oh, looking for the crush there. Luna a little bit too fast for them. Beam coming out. General has to be careful there. And RK bolting of his carry prevents him from caught by this ridiculous, annoying combo. Biver as well as General.
Dendi has been having a pretty free time as well. Not much movement from towards support, especially going towards the mid lane. Oh, they found a Shadow Demon in the middle of nowhere, though. That should be a free kill. That's quite nice for them, I guess. But yeah, there's not really that much pressure being applied to Tinker. As nice as it is to give help to your Luna and make sure that she has a great time, making sure the Tinker on the enemy side has a bad time is, I would say, even more important.
That's what tri-lane was for. You know, they put the tri-lane on the Luna so that the supports can't move away. And I think it was a really clever bit of movement there from Navi to ensure that first Pyke gets his lane and Dendi, you know, let that guy do his thing, and he actually can put a lot of pressure on the enemy later on. I expect some impressive Dendi plays with this almost, I would say, almost 11-minute BTs Soul Ring. Be on the board very shortly. Almost, I think maybe 10 minutes with this Black Dragon going down. It's only 100 gold away from the Boots of Travel, so definitely going to be happy about that one. Armlet picked up by Pycat as well, so a lot of the timing's being met here, and Excalibur actually has a very late Midas.
Still doesn't have it.
This is really late, right? 10 minutes?
Yeah, for a first item really as well. He got, I think he started off with Null Talisman, he went for the full Magic Wand. That is a lot of just like minor items to be thrown around when your goal is get a Hand of Midas. If you're going up against a Tinker and that kind of grindy map control strat that I was talking about earlier from Navi, then Hand of Midas is certainly going to have its value, but this timing for Navi where they have Travels now, they have the Corrosive Haze, and they have a Lysa with an Armlet means that they are decisively more powerful than Horde. If they want to force engagements, they should come away with a pretty big win.
So, I remember you saying that OD was actually disadvantaged versus a Tinker, the lane. And then there was this one game where the Tinker didn't exactly show that. I believe it was a C game. Was it BBZ? Oh, middle bottom lane. Gorge gonna get caught out here by Pycat. The Corrosive Haze gonna stand, and Viper says, now RK, how you gonna dodge this? He's gonna get hit by that splitter. Takes him out. Viper in trouble. Or from OD, but Excalibur is gonna rocket loose some raindrop charges, but Dendi is here with the Boots of Travel support. This is gonna start to be a nightmare for Horde now. They have very little response.
And the great thing about that for Navi is that they pull out the Eclipse from Luna for another 100 seconds and only trade a StarLadder for that. And they get a ton of kills, obviously, which
they
is
might
great
get
as well. But now that there's no Eclipse, they can dive pretty much as far as they want with everyone and walk away mostly unpunished. They still have to worry about Finger of Death, though.
Oh, they're going for Pycat, really? Wow, okay, Pablo gonna get caught out there. The splitter is gonna land. Whoa, Pablo, where did you go? And now, okay, back into the party quest. It's gonna get brought down as well. Navi scored 2 quick kills there. RK succumbing to peer pressure. Pablo there, thinking that he could have gone for Pycat. That was a really hopeful roll.
They probably expected everyone just left already. I mean, top lane has been occupied by General now for a couple of minutes since they got that first jump on this bottom lane. So maybe Horde are like, oh, everyone's gone. Let's just roll in towards Pycat. Yeah, everyone was still there, and of course there's Travels on Tinker, so he's always going to be there. Already at 1300, after just picking up his Travels, Blink Dagger is going to be very quickly picked up by Dendi. And Hand of Midas? Okay, it's actually up on the OD, so at least he has that going for him.
He got it at 10 minutes. Wasn't terrible, but it's a pretty slow timing, because when you're getting free farm, so to speak, you should have it by 6, 7, usually. That's what I noticed. But RK is gonna drop a sentry ward, misses on this observer altogether, but I think he was afraid of a rotation coming in. So he's gonna leave that ward for later on, but has that demonic purge, so see what he can make out of it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, they're just gonna camp out General in this top lane, see if they can get him a Blink Dagger. He's actually not too far away from it. Thought he'd be a little bit more poor at this stage, but yeah, Blink Dagger is gonna be coming up for him. And add that to the already pretty farmed Lifestealer. Some Infest Bomb options. Of course, the Tinker can join in those sprays as well. Or need to be a little bit more proactive at this stage. Use the Finger of Death, just get a random support kill, get some action on the board. Try to use your Eclipse now that Gork has another one, but it does seem like Navi have just more tools at their disposal right now and more ways of counterplaying what Horde have, unless we have a big play from an Earth Spirit.
Can't really push into a Tinker with their current heroes. Luna has to get a little bit too close, and Launch really destroys her.
Well, it's either go now while the Tinker is still somewhat killable, or never go at all and then wait till like the super late game where you try to just like overpower the Tinker. They're gonna set up for a smoke on top.
Oh, silence up the Shadow Demon. They kick across as well, try to do things at once, and in the end get none. Pablo maybe could have gone for Biver there, looking for that Shadow Demon kill to get for sure. Shadow Demon opting for no poison, so will not have that scouting option. Oh god, comes in with a big in this rune as well. The Hex from Arcade is gonna be enough, and Iron Man gonna go down to the Glaives most likely. Does get denied by the Alpha Wolf. Oh. Wow.
Here comes General.
Not their day. General's gonna be missed on that stun, but Pycat comes in and says, hello, Arcade. Jumps in there on Excalibur now. He's gonna banish himself. Pycat's gonna win. That's gonna be another set of rockets and lasers. Excalibur, but the beam comes out, so Pycat will not get that kill. Excalibur really good at banishing and running away. That was the previous game as well, always getting out of those sticky situations. But overall, a botched slam from StarLadder cost him his life, actually.
Yeah, he didn't have a... No, he actually did have vision there. I guess he just misevaluated his blink range or something like that. So StarLadder has his blink, and he has the Lifestealer, who's very farmed, so if one of them's farmed, they can kind of help the other one to get farmed just with constant ganking, so it's not really a terrible situation for this StarLadder to be in. He can still accelerate much further, and he is already like very farmed compared to perhaps where he should be in that full tri lane, which started off rather slowly, not getting a ton of kills. Yeah, Navi overall are still in a really great spot, especially Dendi. Top of the net worth chart, yes, but just has Boots of Travel, Blink Dagger. Going to go for that Aether Lens. I expect the the Ag Scepter to come out. Eventually we'll see the laser just start crippling the OD and the Luna. They're gonna need some magic immunity.
Oh, okay. Gotta be careful here. Surprised that he didn't go for that. Didn't have the mana. But Ake dropping really low.
Sooner or later we're gonna start seeing this map shrink in favor of Navi. They're just gonna take more control of the map. Tier 1 tower mid, probably gonna be a big catalyst in that, and down this tower pretty quickly if they actually wanted to, if they just 5-manned it down. And once the map starts shrinking, then at least the OD has his Hand of Midas to keep getting farm. At least Luna can still scrape together some farms because she has Glaives, but these items on these supporting heroes, Darkseer included, they're gonna be much harder to come by.
General is waiting with Cat again. We want to sit too long though. Wasted time for Pycat. He may be top net worth at the start. Oh, they're going in for Roshan. Can't find heroes. Rock guy. I disagree. I think with this, I think they spotted the StarLadder moving, and then so now they're afraid that there's a gank, so they're being very passive. This allows that Roshan movement. The Excalibur, he got that 10-minute Midas. It's not terrible, but he's still gonna take a while to build up to wherever he's. Not the crazy game he had like last game.
He's just pulling apart the rest of Horde in the meantime. Just classic Tinker things, making a little bit of usage, getting a little bit of abuse out of a little bit of a map, and then suddenly your friendly Lifestealer has an Aegis, is working towards a Desolator. Not really super close there, but he's ready to go for more kills, and getting kills very aggressively now is possible. This combo, just dive into this top lane tier 1. Why not? You have an Aegis, you can probably get away with it. Horde need to find a gank on someone. They need to smoke up and set a trap. They need to find Armen, who's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and actually get kill.
Okay.
And they're not going to get that either.
Only too fast.
Oh, they don't even get the tower. That sucks. Tower denied.
And General could look for Excalibur this time. He finds it with the Corrosive Haze as well. Doesn't get it. The Rockets find the OD, and Dendi Wilson. Nice pick off the Aether Lens now. for 8 lens before that Academic Scepter upgrade. Could be building into a Bloodstone as well. I think he will be building Bloodstone since he is on the attack here. So Tendy's gonna look to punish Pablo a little bit. Drops him down to half health. Yeah, whoa, we're looking for it. Gonna be enough to down this Spirit. Raindrop saving lives.
Raindrops also aren't free. You gotta watch out when you actually do purchase raindrops. You gotta make sure that you're actually able to use them in some way instead of just having them randomly pop. But now we have a situation where Navi are actually kicking into gear. Top lane, only level 2 Edict. Actually, that's a pretty high level for a level 9 Leshrac. Never mind, but yeah, this tower is gonna go down. Ake.
Gonna get fingered though. Raindrop to protect him for a little bit, but I don't think the Shadow Demon wants any part of that. Meanwhile, Lifestealer is going to be cornered here. Want to go for the general, goes haze up on that Luna. He's rage from Pycat. Excalibur gonna force stuff away. Cut that Lifestealer for now. They play would be to back off, but Navi don't know that word. They only know forward. They go in. Darkseer can vanish. Gonna fine for now. Excalibur once again with the vanish play. Follow-up destruction though on that Pablo Spirit. He is going to roll away, so should be safe unless General is thinking about diving tier 3. So even he's not that crazy. So Navi will settle for a tier 2 tower. The Leshrac coming to play here.
Everyone just forgot that Ake was the one who started that off in the trees. No one went to look for him at all. Well, and that's pretty much exactly what Navi want to get into right now. Like, they have the luxury of reinforcements. They expect to buy back on Leshrac. It's somewhat costly, yes, but what they gain is just so worth it. 2 towers now off the board.
The rockets. Oh wow.
Oh,
the vision. Yeah, that reveals the observer, but getting a kill on Luna, plenty worth.
This is looking pretty bad for Hordes. Like, they lost the entirety of their top lane. They decisively lost that fight, and Navi knew that they have Aegis on Pycat, so let him go in and do whatever he wants to do, and everyone else will be able to reinforce at a pretty decent rate. Travels and Blink Dagger on the Tinker, Blink Dagger on Slaughter. He even picked himself up a Hand of Midas, so Slaughter's looking to scale up as well into the super late. Yeah, these towers are not long for life, and really Horde, their team fight is really hard to execute unless they find someone and pick them off immediately, and then like have Eclipse and Wall in their back pocket for a future set of heroes. It's really hard for them to get on top of Tinker for really everyone except for the Earth Spirit, and even then he can't really kill off the Tinker.
The weakness of Lion, you know, we talked about him having a lot of disables, but funky set of tools. That doesn't really work too well when you can't see what you're trying to stun. General gonna pick a follow-up Midas after that Blink Dagger because of how well things are going. Already has a Pycat bomb loaded up on him. Desolator ready to go. Desolator Echo Saber means whoever's caught by the Slaughter probably disappears.
A couple of Shadow Demon illusions fanning out, looking for some Force Curve. The Shadow Demon illusion is just like the biggest trap in the world. If Excalibur sees this, okay, good for Excalibur that he didn't see that, because that's really bad.
He's dead. But Horde, the victims of this next jump, they're really scared. They're sticking together up top. Ake gonna go to the front, say, I'll risk my life for you guys. Oh, Excalibur, I think they're thinking about this. Navi, do they? Okay. Ada's got other plans. He's gonna scoot up top, but there is coverage, so I don't think they will be able to catch him. But here comes in. Does he have an Eel Scepter? He does not. So he cancels that TP. Now he will go to the bottom. Warman,
I can't
out that wave.
Oh, they're gonna stun Excalibur.
Oh, they stun him! Nice. They get the blast as well. Go in, E-skill. That laser once again. Dendy already has that Academic Scepter. I was wondering why the lasers were bouncing, but Dendy getting caught by that Eclipse. Is that enough? There is enough. Mega kill ended there. Iron Man loses his life, but they will actually get Excalibur in the end. So they have a 2-man assassination work out for them. They take the Darkseer as well as the OD out, but the Luna gets the mega kill on of Dendy. So I would say that Horde are happy with that.
Yeah, that was a little bit too aggressive there from Navi. They definitely didn't expect the Luna to come from behind, as that's just something that they didn't prepare for. There's no observers in the area to kind of spot out for that. Cost them a kill, or it cost them a Tinker death, which is very avoidable if they just had another 1 or 2 heroes in the area. If General and Pycat were there, then that would have been a very, very different fight. Just trying to see what they can get away with, really, Navi. Like, looking at Leshrac, he is incredibly bulky with this Bit Booster. Tinker's obviously farmed his all health.
I think they know where General is. I know they know where Gorge is. And there you go, the Slaughter comes in. Corrosive Haze, let's see how fast the Luna melts. Lifestealer is going to have himself distracted for now. Excalibur vanishes off main target, but he goes on to Pablo. He jams it up, takes him out, but the combo here, the vacuum pull does take out the Lifestealer. He goes down. Shadow Demon falls as well, but Dendy's here to clean house on L3. Caliber is not going to have a good time. The lightning strike actually takes out in time, and he's still going to try and run away from the slippery fish. Is it going to be successful? General sprints forward. There's a missile. It's going to flutter for now, but the laser finds him, and Dendy with the triple kill. 10 to 17 now. Navi takes a huge lead in this game. The team fight recap says everything.
Alright, well, if that first team fight with the Tinker and Leshrac got them this one, then yeah, overall, very much so worth it. Our man is doing a lot of damage. He's maxed out in all of his base skills right now, and if you're just allowed to cast those spells without being stunned and killed off by like a lion or something, then this support Leshrac is just doing incredible amounts of work. He has more net worth, a lot more net worth, than the enemy Darkseer on the other end. His Bloodstone's almost completed. Still a tier 2 tower stands, so Navi haven't completely locked the map down just yet, but it is certainly starting to look like Horde don't really have any options as far as their movement is concerned. It's starting to become more and more limited to, if they have a smoke, they can make a play. If not, they're kind of forced to just bottle up in the base and wait for Navi to come to them. And even then, their responses are kind of weak. At least they have one Force Staff right now in the OD and a Blink Dagger on Lion. They can respond fairly quickly, but still, it is not a position where they really want to find themselves in with the Luna.
Yeah, you know, when Navi perform like this, you even wonder how they lose game 1. It's just a really drastic change in performance. Some games they just do exceedingly well. Some games they have that net worth showing, but they just don't perform. You know, Dendy was top net worth the last game, 1 and 3, so he didn't actually get any kills on the board. Didn't really pull his weight, just he is doing this game.
It's a lot of the early game. Like, I think that's probably the biggest weakness in Navi's gameplay as a team, from what I've seen, is that their early game is kind of finicky. They can get the CS, but they really want to have a lot of action. If they can involve RMN and if they can involve Vivre, then things will, in general, go a lot better for them. Even if they're like trading kills, those supports need a little bit of love, but sometimes just, it seems like most of these games is just Dendy and Pycat just doing their thing, and the supports aren't really doing a lot in the early stages. This game was a little bit different.
See how they fare against Vega next, because those are the opponents. Navi, 4 back-to-back games here. Gonna take a toll. They let these drag out. Oh, it's a good thing that this game's going. See if Horde can make any kind of swing plays. With Darkseer's level 4 vacuum, there's always a potential for some crazy vacuum walls. We did see a semi-successful one just now in the Raiden jungle.
Yeah, but it's gonna be up against another double life for Navi. They pretty much locked down this area enough so that this Roshan is pretty much just a gimme. Horde can maybe make a sort of a Hail Mary and try to smoke in, crash this fight. With Eclipse, wall, or I guess both Eclipses and the wall, they can put up a pretty serious fight in this area, but at that point, like, they've already committed to that. Dendy can just say, okay, I'm just gonna teleport to all your lanes and push them all out, and you're gonna lose tier 3s or start taking tier 3 damage while you're just sitting there not fighting over Roshan. It's really just a lose-lose situation for Horde unless they somehow are able to pick off Dendy. Blink Dagger on Lion makes it possible. Blink Dagger on Pablo makes it possible. They just haven't found it just yet.
They need another lucky break like when he caught Dendy in the bottom lane. Now, like you said, they smoke in, they try and crash the party, but it doesn't break, so do they steal it? It's very dangerous to try
I think
to steal.
Shadow Demon's gonna scout with his Lifestealer illusions. He'll know that there's no shenanigans going on here for Horde.
Steal illusions. This rune as well. Ake is gonna love that. He picks that up. No detection here on the Dire.
Oh, there's a gem on general.
Kidding.
But there's a lot of ward coverage here for the Radiant.
They drop an observer. Arcade. They see Arcade. They see Arcade. They disrupt the Shadow Demon. Oh, the vacuum misses the blind. Well punished there by Ezio. 4 rockets fly across, and now Gorge deploys that Eclipse, but it just goes on nothing because that BKB has been deployed there. General is dropping very low, though. He will drop to that OD. Tinker gets removed, and now Pycat saves his life for now. The lasers come out again. Then can he solo this entire team? He got one. Another, the rockets flying on Excalibur. Another laser will do the job, but then he out of mana. Disruption, not there for Viper. Will not find it. Pablo hiding inside that rush pit. RMN gets it. Didn't see him. Didn't go deep enough to see him. Viper slow D-ward this. They reclaim the gem. I thought that was going to be a huge loss, but overall, not win somehow.
Yeah, Tinker just staying alive for a little bit too long. He's at level 3 rearm at this point, so he doesn't really need a lot of time to sit there and cast his spells. He blasts them out pretty quickly. RMN also is not really a hero that you can afford to ignore. Like, as dangerous as StarLadder looks when he's BKB'd and running towards you, it's really Leshrac who's doing most of the damage while the StarLadder is kind of distracting away. And the fact that Horde completely whiffed their Eclipse from their Luna, completely botched their vacuum wall. I mean, I'm surprised it went as well as it did for Horde, honestly, without those spells really in play. But still, it's this big survivor, the big winner here is going to be Dendi, is going to be this Leshrac, who is just looking unkillable because Horde are not properly focusing them.
15 Bloodstone charges, and you can't exactly try and burst him either because it's going to heal his whole team. It's going to be very problematic. And now they apply that damage on Roshan, and Pycat goes back to town. I don't think Horde can fight this. All those green diamonds on them not up just yet. There is a vacuum wall again. Roshan's already gone, and a double damage spawns here for Navi. Hey, General. Sit up.
Well, this tower is dead, that's for sure. And Lifestealer's closing in pretty quickly on an AC.
Someone. Okay. Our blind blink from General. So hopeful there, but this lunar night vision gives them good light. What's happening here? So Pycat realizes that the jig is up. It's out to hit this tower.
Now all the shrines are gonna fall.
Oh yeah, that's right. The options to rage and chip away at the tower as well. With Tinker constantly spamming March, so makes it really difficult. But Horde looks like they want to defend this one. And RMN, Navi might get caught with their pants down, not ready for this gank. General has that BKB, but how long can they lock someone down? Pycat has the Aegis. This might end up to be really bad. Pablo comes in there. Half that tries to hide in the trees. Maxed up by his buddies. Really hopeful to win again.
Pycat he's gonna go on the front lines. He's got the Aegis. If he can get the Assault Cuirass and then start chipping at the high ground, it's gonna make a world of difference there. Otherwise, just let the Tinker start 6-slotting out. He's already picked up his Shiva's Guard Dendi. It is very difficult for Navi to push up high ground because it makes it so that Blink Daggers, Darkseer, Earth Spirit, and Lion are much better in this area when you exactly know where the enemies are. Get a lot more initiation options there, but Pycat with AC, RMN with Edict, just 1-2 heroes up to that high ground with the Shadow Demon in backup, Aetherland's backup even, so disruption cast range pretty far. You could slowly but surely chip these towers down and force Horde into a team fight. Perhaps just have Tinker set up 2-3 layers of March and dare Horde to walk into that.
And you get rocket spammed as well, because if you're in vision range, you get hit by 4 rockets every few seconds. That can take quite a toll. I mean, the shrines can only last so long.
Pycat does have that AC now.
Gonna be a very scary push. If Horde can hold this, it would be a truly great work of art, I would say.
They also have to hold like 3 lanes at a time because Tinker he's still on the field. He's still doing things. He's got 7,000 more gold than the OD on top, and
oh no! They purge him. He's in trouble. He has that BKB, but he's purged. I think this go in. I think make try for a bash. And immediately gets hacked. The StarLadder gets caught, but Pycat immediately snipes out the Lion. Pablo gonna get caught as well. Excalibur getting chased down. General is BKB'd up, so he's immune to the damage for now from the OD. Pycat claims another. E-skill has fallen. Excalibur tries to pop that Aegis on Pycat. He does actually get that second life activated here for Pycat, so it's gonna be 12 to 22. They lose 2 heroes for an Aegis. The StarLadder getting away with his life. He reset. Go up again. The wall is down. You're not too afraid.
No wall, both eclipses used. So their counterplay here is pretty much nil until they get their line where they have at least something to do about this. But until that happens, they're gonna lose some structures.
Half health for Excalibur. Gets together for that shrine, and he resets. And have that StarLadder come back into the fight as well. No, General's just doing some Mud Golem shopping for now.
It's going for Heart. And Midas StarLadder is a lot of extra cash that we usually don't see on this hero. I do like the idea of Heart just to try to absorb some shots away from Pycat, make sure that the Leshrac and the Tinker aren't really going to be hit with any of that Eclipse shenanigans, make sure that all the focus stays on him. Does need a little bit of extra threat if he's going to make that really work. I think it's a reasonable item for right now, but I mean, given how far ahead Navi are, pretty sure StarLadder can make anything work, because they're going to set up again, and Range Rax is dying like 6 hits, something like that. Seems fair.
Go up, try and dodge stuff. Pycat doesn't have the second life now, so he's going to be a little bit more cautious with what he's doing. But Navi have no rush actually. The Horde aren't farming. The 3 top networks are actually now belonging to Navi, so.
And Leshrac is only 1k behind, or 2k behind the Luna.
Damn.
The advantage for Navi is pushed above 20k. It's actually almost at 30k net worth lead. Experience not quite there yet, but this is like a problem right now and a problem moving forward for Horde, because this advantage of Navi is due in no small part to the fact that they have a Tinker just locking down the entire map. Everyone else in Navi is getting farm, or pretty much getting nothing. So there really is a long time of just this. Not any options for Horde to get out of this funk. They're getting further and further behind.
This OD's fights. Shadow Demon never joins the fights, and 4 of the heroes has magic on Navi. So. Oh, not 4. 3 of the heroes. But he's not going to be able to shoot Dandy because he'll be blind.
He'll need the BKB for that. 9 seconds though, and I'm pretty sure Navi can just disengage once they see the BKBs. Or just straight kill them with Lifestealer. He doesn't care about enemies having BKB. He'll just you anyway.
The Horde is done. And this StarLadder sitting at 3,000 health. Oh, ham. Yeah, Pycat pops the Rage and does the Rage thing. Knocks the Rex down to half and immediately backs off. Doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks. The Radiant have a cliff. They have to go soon. Coming out again. Will get the ward. Ben run a little bit close. Gets Fire Beam. Pycat. Page. Wear off. Excalibur pops the BKB. He's pissed. And Navi just gives him the old jebaited. But Excalibur now having to back off that 9-second BKB. We talked about that. The crush missing from General though. That's a small boo-boo. Nice vacuum wall. Catches 2. They follow up with the MTL as well. They catch the RMN as well as the Shadow Demon. So Shadow Demon is out of the fight. The Fuel Sister here from Lack. Team alive. The BKB is there. The lasers bounce around. Blind the entire team. 3 heroes on Horde are down without buyback, and I think this might be it. Navi equalizes match 13 to 25. Goal lead looks pretty much insurmountable at this point, and Navi just gonna hit down the Raxes and claim game 2 for themselves. I don't know if they're in still after the score.
No, Navi
and
Horde are both already out, so game doesn't win anything for standings, but I mean, it's gonna go pretty good if you're RMN, and if you're Navi, like the track works pretty well for them.
Catch Pablo here.
Oh. I think he's dead.
Yeah.
This is Mega's. Like, Yeah, wall.
Going for again.
Eclipse.
Laser. Push your damage. To shoot. Okay, get
Oh, they got him.
Face down here by General. Yeah, they got the Lifestealer. Gorge pops his BKB. Meanwhile, StarLadder soloing people in his lane. He's gonna TP away, but here comes the follow-up. Lifestealer is back. They get dash. They snipe him out. Excalibur now gonna try and fight well there. BKB purged up. There's the GG. Pablo is sick and tired of games. Dendi still can't get through that BKB, but oh, Pycat breaks the OD. That's gonna be at 14-30. Navi tie it up 1-1. With that, I think they.
Whatever. Still was kind of entertaining to see, Tinker and Leshrac played almost, textbook style here from Navi. It was, at a certain point, like, you have Sandy's Eclipse, you have regular Eclipse, you have Wall. You're also 30,000 gold behind. It's just not surmountable when it gets that bad for Horde. They really needed to be a lot more proactive. I think shutting down Dendi with either the Lion or the Earth Spirit, perhaps even both, and that would have given them a pretty much better shot at equalizing that mid lane and making sure that they actually have some map control, but they gave up way too much of the map way too early.
Radiant reserve time. Hold on a minute. Are you throwing darts or something to decide your picks? I mean, what is your strategy? Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Luna.
Dire team pick.
Shadow StarLadder.
Radiant team pick.
Lion.
Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining.
I'm okay, but I'm not really sure why we see a Lion second pick here from Horde. I mean, I'm down with Navi's start. Shadow Demon StarLadder, that's reasonable. What he'll be able to do a lot of damage with Diabolic Edict if he is going to mix that in. Usually with core builds, if he's a support, you know, it's not as much value with the Slaughter, obviously, but you do have options going Disruption, Soulcatcher, and just setting up for Split Earths. It also is, you know, a lot of magic damage that's kind of hard to control in a wide AoE, so that's really what you want up against Luna and Lion specifically, just in the early game, just nuke them down.
Time.
Life Stealer.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, it definitely messes with Horde on that mental level of what are they doing with this Leshrac. I do think that they probably could have saved it to last, and there's like a very, very small chance that it would have been picked up or banned out by Horde, so you probably could have gotten a Leshrac last. Wouldn't have been a terribly huge deal, but what Navi have right now is a really clean setup for getting kills on almost any hero, as long as the Leshrac and Shadow Demon are on point with their communication and they don't whiff any of these Split Earth setups. Then with all this damage coming out from the Life Stealer, Leshrac also does quite a bit of damage. Even with a low level of Split Earth, with the setup that you have, you can just afford to go into Edict or Lightning Storm and get even more magic damage. I guess physical damage sometimes coming out on those heroes as well. Even someone like a Darkseer may not be able to survive just that initial burst combo. So it is ever, but Luna Lion is definitely a little bit interesting. It is nice to have that kind of double illusion clear when you expect your Luna to be hit with that disruption from the Shadow Demon. So there's some response to that, but usually Lion picks want to pick them up a little bit later. You want to be able to scope the field out. Make sure that your Lion will have chances to get in and get his disables off without being just immediately killed by someone else. And so far that's just not quite clear yet. Already a great defensive spell from Navi and that Shadow Demon.
You've got 10 seconds. What's the hold up, sunshine? 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
Mm-hmm.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the, I'm not gonna say like bigger strengths of Lion. It is one of the strengths of Lion in this particular set of heroes. You will have that anti-illusion tech. It's already a very deadly setup from the Navi side, but Horde, they're not to be outdone. Earth Spirit, Darkseer, classic combo is a set of heroes you want when you're going up heroes like Leshrac, who by themselves, if you catch them out, don't really have that much game.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, you do need a little bit more brute force. Magnus is already... be handled by Dendi or whatnot, but you know, as long as it's as long as it's a hero with a little bit of right click, just someone that can right click at all, then that'll be great, because Navi already have just so many ways of picking people off. Navi can go for, you know, anything from Invoker to set up from the Shadow Demon Disruption and try to just instantly get those kills. Slaughter Blink Dagger with Life Stealer Bombs, very good as well down the line. They can do that. They can go a lot slower and try to play the slow grindy game and have, but it is still pretty risky. Usually with Luna heroes, you want to have heroes that are somewhat a little bit more mobile, a little bit more movement speed, so you can actually land your hits, the extra damage from the aura, while at the same time not putting yourself into a terrible position where you just get killed off immediately. And Lion is a clunky hero. He's usually not able to do that completely safely without taking some damage in response. It is still possible that Horde run Lion, Luna, and they are able to keep them both safe because of Navi's offlane situation just being fairly weak. So far, it's not completely clear what that is just yet. If it is going to be anything but a weak offlane, then yeah, the line may run into issues, but yeah, you do have that anti-illusion, which is quite nice when you're packing someone like a Luna. But taking a look at bans, got a lot of this physical right click being banned out from really both sides. TA and the Meepo from Navi, and then Shadow Fiend Weaver, both minus armor heroes taken out from Horde. You could just use Shadow Demon as more of a Shadow Poison caster, and then a little bit less in the Disruption.
The sack.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So I mean, this is, whether it's a support or core, I mean, it doesn't really matter because they both work really well with Shadow Demon, and they both work really well with StarLadder.